What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more ABBA. And we're back with another non-album track provided by a friend of the channel, Delius. Big shout out to you. And in fact, this tune apparently chronologically should have come before I'm Still Alive, but I didn't read that because the email for this one came later. Regardless, this is a tune called Dream World. It's apparently in 1978. They had worked on an early version of this in preparation for the Voulez-Vous album, but ultimately they decided it wasn't on the level and it was shelved, and it didn't get fully completed in terms of the mixing of the sound and so on until the mid-90s when it was eventually released. So yeah, the phrase dream world, it sounds utopian, it sounds ideal, it sounds like a place that perhaps only exists in our dreams and therefore maybe speaks to our emotional or, psychological concerns and aspirations. I do wonder whether the dream world will be universally seen like that. It's the kind of thing or the kind of phrase where something that looks ideal to one person might not look ideal to another, certainly when we're talking about relationships, which even those that tend to be very, committed and strong, they still will be on some level fluid, maybe momentarily, if not over a longer term, asymmetrical. So again, a dream world is a phrase that could provide a lot of different directions, so I'm curious to hear what ABBA will do with it. Let's find out. This is ABBA, the track is Dream World, and again, it was originally worked on in 1978, but only became available in the mid-90s, 1994 apparently, as a promotional CD single in Sweden and Germany. And once again, shout out to Delius for the information here. So here we go, this is ABBA, and the track is Dream World. Remember that carnival? Oh.
Trust
It's a fun tune. It feels like not only is it a lighter tune and very danceable and enjoyable, but it almost was like comedic at a couple points. It seemed like there was some clever like comedic wit to that one. But yeah, like lyrically, I'm intrigued because it sounds. I thought it was like one woman talking to another woman, but like about relationships and like like you've walked into this very naively because you like you met someone, you think it's great, and you're just now you're going to be perfect forever, and it's like that's reality will come crashing down upon you if you're not aware of it, or even if you are. But yeah, it seemed like a woman telling another woman, perhaps a younger woman, that you're living in a dream world, and at some point I'm becoming tired of the way that you're perceiving things or the way that you're talking about things. So it seemed to be like a disconnect again in terms of how legitimate a situation is seen as a dream world by different people from different perspectives. But yeah, ultimately, it didn't feel like heavy and, emotionally tense and in turmoil. It felt more like you're gonna learn even if you're not listening to me. But yeah, ultimately, sonically, I like the sort of carnival organ that begins and ends the tune, the book ending in that way. And then ultimately some cool moments along the way, like that when the guitar came in, it had a nice like funk edge to it. Ultimately, I really love the way those three overlapping lines then come together for the line like coming together, and then again the second one for the like what does it make it better. So again, like clever composition where it's like the sound is articulating on some level the concept that the lyrics are pursuing, and the way that it's put together is, again, I just think a very smart bit of composition. So shout out to that. It's interesting, like I don't think I've been listening to ABBA long enough, even though Voulez-Vous, I have continued to listen to that album. The title track is one of my favorites, fair to say. I'd put that in my pantheon of ABBA tunes. But ultimately, I'm not sure, like, I wonder what people might say, like, would this have fit well on the album? Because my understanding, given what Delia said, is that the reason it was shelved is because they didn't think it was up to snuff with what the rest of the album was becoming. So I wonder, do people agree with that? Do people feel like, at least it was good enough as, one or two others? I know there's been times where I've gone through their albums and people will say that some of the tracks that were non-album tunes, it's like this could be just as good as this other one, and I'm surprised, this was included and this wasn't. So I am always curious about that, but again, I'm not sure I have an opinion immediately after listening. But again, there were some cool elements here, and like I said, I enjoyed the cleverness of some of the writing. So big shout out to ABBA once again. Shout out to all of you who are still along for this journey, even though it has been a bit slower. I realize, there's an adjustment period. Ultimately, some of the deep dives that I've already gone through, like AHA, not gone through, but AHA and Depeche Mode and Duran, where I've done like multiple hundreds of reactions. Inevitably, once I get through the albums, it does seem like they slow down, even though I'm trying to go through demos and live stuff and so on, including with ABBA here. So for those of you still along for the ride, big shout out to you. And as I keep mentioning, once we go through the remainder of these tunes, we're going to go through Agnetta's, as I learned last time. But yeah, through her live material as well as Frida's live material, so there's a lot more to go, I promise you. And shout out to the ABBA people who obviously, transformed my channel in the same way that AHA and Duran fans and groups of some other bands or fans of some other groups have done. So big shout out to ABBA. I really do appreciate them and you. So let me know what you think of this track. I will see you next time. Peace.